as Kitsis has talked about many times, people fall into three different buckets. There's basically advised, which is the one we always do, the ones who want the delegators. There's delegators, there's validators who just want someone to give them a little bit of help. And then there is the DIYers. I think anyone in this business who's tried to convince a DIYer that they need help has known what the experience is like. And as my friend Michael Batnick says, DIYers are going to DIY. At the end of the day, they're wielding tools, right? These are just tools. These are not, a tool is different from knowledge. And if you think differently, come see my house because the previous guy was a DIYer, and I got to tell you, everything has to be redone, right? So we've all seen this where people think they're perfectly fine because they're DIYing, and frankly, like they don't know what they don't know. You are not going to get rid of basically Dunning-Kruger. The reality is the answer. The question is that enough? Well, the answer is just because I talk to you and I have a relationship, is that enough? The answer is no. I mean, don't get me wrong, surveys will show that great advisors have 99% retention rates and not so great advisors have 94% of retention rates. There's momentum. But in general, no, like it does not mean you can sit back and do nothing and just basically just like, I'm just going to wine and dine these people. Again, back to my 1980s brokers margin example
Yeah.
previously. So it is like everything else, you have to evolve. Now, the one thing I love about this business, which is amusing to me, is that it creates its own future understanding or demand through misrepresentation in commercials. What I mean by that is that the largest institutions in every country, banks typically, market themselves as providing advice and all this other stuff. And then they train with their marketing the populace to go looking for this thing called advice and planning and all this other stuff. But they don't actually execute on any degree possible because the metrics on how many people that they service are just too big. So what does it do? It creates an expectation for what it is that the consumer should, how they should be served. And then when they go and find someone who actually does that, thanks for spending all that marketing spend and training the person that this is what they should be looking for. I would like to thank you for that. So, if anything, I think what we're going to see is that we are going to see the marketing the expectation of the consumer increase, not just because of their own individual use of technology and how easy it makes their lives normally, and they look at our portals and wonder what's wrong with us. I mean, that's just a real thing that they currently deal with. But frankly, I think that what you're going to see is more marketing amongst large institutions around things like tax planning reports and estate planning reports and all this other stuff. And great,
Yeah.
if you're a good RIA, if you're good independent, if you're on that side, you should be already there. So then the question becomes, what are they not looking at? Like, where is it that I can understand them more? And again, I think that where they're not looking at is a very big question, but it's a lot easier when you zero in on one type of human being, right? So again, back to the being the drum on niches. End of the day, these are just tools, people. Our toys are just different this year. Humans don't change. DIYers are going to DIY. People who want to delegate are just not want to get to spend this. They're going to look at I don't think people understand the tyranny of a blank Google search. I've seen studies done with like, okay, figure out how to invest your money. And like one third of the group just stares at the Google search saying, I don't know what to type.